Good morning, guys. It's Saturday and it's Melissa. Hey, I'm getting ready to go into work early. I'm waiting for an Uber. William's supposed to pick me up, so I'm waiting for that. And while I'm waiting, I want to talk a minute about abortion because it's important to listen to other women and their story. I mean, this is what I was talking about with Gloria Steinem. She actually shared her unique story. So I was listening to somebody last night who was like, I'm going to share my unique story about what happened. And I feel like the lighting here is bugging me. And I'm going to share my unique story. She's like, it's not, she's kind of popular, I think. She's like, it's not whether it's right for you or whether it's not right. So kind of wishy-washy there, right? No right and wrong. But she's like, this is just my story. And so she started talking, and I think that's really valuable for women. Really valuable to hear other women's stories. And I really like the detail that she went into. She's like, so I knew I didn't love my boyfriend. And she's like, so I knew that I didn't want to keep the baby. So she already had known, it was a baby. And she didn't just think, oh, I'm pregnant and I'm in trouble, but it's actually a baby. And she said she took the time to think, could I do this? Could I afford the baby? And she's like, yeah, this is the plan. I could do this, I could do that, and I definitely could afford the baby. But her reasoning was she didn't love the boyfriend. They had just broken up like a lot of girls, and then she found out she was pregnant. And for her, she didn't want to start off as a single mom. She's like, oh, it's funny to listen to her and her accent, but she's like, it's like, when you get married, right, you expect to stay married, you don't expect a divorce, and then you become a single mom, or the man leaves, or whatever. And she said that she did not want to start off that way. And I can understand the reasoning there. She knew she would have been single. But at the same time, I mean, we're talking about the baby's life again. So I don't think there's any reason to be like, no, I cannot have this baby. But it was really interesting to hear the detail. And she talks to girls and she says, don't think just because you haven't gone all the way with a guy that you can't get pregnant, because she's like, you can. And so then she's like, oh, and now my standard is I will not be with a guy unless a condom's used. It still is it's a low standard. It still is, to be thinking of being with guys and just using a condom. It's like, no. I mean, you talked about how you didn't love this guy, and now you're just with guys and you don't care about loving them again. You just care about using protection. So I think this is really common with women. They go into being promiscuous and they don't care anymore about that relationship. So I think it's important. As I was watching, who was it yesterday? Oh, it was this famous talk show. I forget the guy's name. He's really funny. Oh, I was watching some of Steve Harvey. And yeah, I don't agree with everything, but I was watching something with him. And he said, he had an expert on relationships. And he says, you want to know what you want, right? You want to plan that ahead of time. You want a list, 6 foot whatever. He's loyal, he's kind, he's generous, he's, got a little bit of bad boy maybe. You want to plan what you want in a guy before you go around dating, right? So I'll be talking about dating on here too, different things that you can look for, different things that happen. And I do think it's important to listen to each person's unique story about abortion, as Gloria Steinem talked about with her abortion, so that we can learn from women and we can be like, oh, okay, there it is, or what could we have done differently, or where is this beginning, or what. And she said that she could talk to her mom, and her mom was like, we're going to support you with anything you choose. And that to me is very cowardly, really. It's saying, we're okay with anything. And then she's like, and then she knew she was an adult. She was older, and she knew that she could definitely, as an adult, take care of her child, but she still chose not to. And even though she's like, it doesn't matter if it's right or wrong, she's on there talking about how bad it is and how awful it is. So we do know that there is a right and a wrong, and I believe she regrets it. And it's just the same old story. I don't think there's ever a woman who's like, so glad I had it, so glad. So I did appreciate that she is telling girls, this is what you need to think about. This is what you need to know. These are the details of how it happens. So join me some more, and I'll be talking about this stuff. Okay, guys, have